Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. Now, the content that I'm going to show you tonight is a little unusual for the past 2 weeks, where it seems like we are kind of taking a bunch of infringements right on the chin. I'm going to be honest. We've got an overzealous infringing ATF. We have the Supreme Court denied to get in the New York case. We've got multiple AR bans and magazine bans that keep on getting introduced. Now, there's reasons that all those things are happening in this timing, but this is interesting because when the media shows you and attacks what they're afraid of, it's interesting to follow, particularly when it involves one of the most populous states in the United States, Florida. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below, and if you are a new or returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, because this is the fight for our lives, and this is the stuff that will truly help us pass the blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration, and now let's get into this, because this is something that I think you're going to find fascinating. And by the way, a little side note, while I'm at SHOT Show this week, I'm going to try to get as many videos out as I can, but I can't promise it's the same cadence of 2 per day. So set it out loud. All right. Check out the article I'm going to talk to you about. Carrying a concealed loaded gun without a permit may soon be legal in most states. Well, that kind of caught my attention. Of course it did, because to me that's something to celebrate. Republican leaders in Florida intend to move legislation that would make it the 26th state to allow individuals to carry concealed loaded guns anywhere without permits. Now, keep in mind, of course, that's kind of a miscommunicated headline. You've got Nebraska, you got North Carolina that could do it, potentially. You've got Florida, and then you also have Louisiana, which may or may not. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to be on the positive for this, but they're focusing on Florida. But there's an interesting reason why. Couldn't be that it's the most populous state. Couldn't be that it's a state that's going more red and more free. And it couldn't be the fact that DeSantis may or may not run for president, which would then hurt him politically. Maybe any one of those things. But let's keep going. This came out yesterday by Adam Edelman. Florida could soon become the 26th state to allow individuals to carry concealed loaded guns anywhere without permits, a growing trend that has alarmed gun safety groups. Called gun control, by the way. Now, I want you to listen to the actual verbiage here they choose to use. This is from NBC. This is a mainline source. Check this out. Conservatives and gun right activists have taken to call in the category of legislation constitutional carry. Listen to this. Even though no provisions in the Constitution explicitly allow for the right to carry concealed, unlicensed weapons. Get to it in a second. Gun safety and gun control activists, as well as neutral groups, prefer to label the category of legislation permitless carry. Let's set up camp right there for a second. Even though no provisions in the Constitution explicitly allow for the right to carry concealed, unlicensed weapons? You mean like the Second Amendment that says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed? You mean that one? Or does it not actually say the right to keep and bear arms explicitly for concealed purposes without a license? Is that what you're referencing here? Because if that's what you're referencing, we've got a whole lot of other rights issues that we have in our Bill of Rights that we need to address. Of course, I'm being tongue-in-cheek. That is a silly argument, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to gin up a fake argument to bring points to light which have no standing, to be honest. If and when legislatures enact such legislation in the coming session, Florida would become the 26th state to do so, expanding a national trend in which an increasing number of states are allowing the practice. Yes, because as they get more states, they get more momentum, because you can see that there's actually nothing wrong. There are no negative outcomes. Constitutional carry is called constitutional carry because it's guaranteed by the Constitution, not permitless carry, because that implies a negative. Anyway, let's keep going, because the branding and manipulation by the left and the gun controllers is on peak right here. The broader landscape has alarmed gun safety and gun control groups who argue that such bills, either by design or by circumstance, would circumvent existing laws requiring background checks and firearms training. Nope. No. See, you still get the background check when you buy a firearm. That's a federal license. That's a federal law. You can't bypass that. So the idea that you're going to get around the background checks is kind of total crap. Now, the next part about the firearms training. This is akin to them when they say you have to have training to have a right. That's kind of like in the civil rights era in the South, that you have to have training and you have to pass a test to vote. They're both rights. That's what we're dealing with here. Make no mistake, it is not a apples and oranges thing. This is a guaranteed right. This is something that the government cannot infringe upon. And just like voting, testing for voting and qualifying for voting, kind of like when you had to be a landowner, Yeah, you can't do that, just like you can't put firearms requirements in front of purchasing and owning a firearm. That is an infringement. Anyway, I digress. Let's keep going. In Florida, for example, most gun owners must complete firearm training courses with state-certified instructors as part of their applications for concealed carry licenses. You can still get the concealed carry license. It's your choice. Permitless carry laws can get rid of that requirement. Yeah, because you don't have to have a state tell you you are qualified to have a right. That is the underlying problem here that the left really doesn't understand. Or, to use their own words, either unintentionally or by design. I keep going. Quote, permitless carry causes harm and there is data to prove it, said Shannon Watts, a board member at the gun violence prevention group Everytown for Gun Safety. Ooh, look how that title changed. Because it used to be Shannon Watts, the founding member of Moms Demand Action. Well, now she's an Everytown board member. Weird. Anyway, the reason that I brought this to you is I want to show you the manipulation. I want to show you that even though they are getting all these infringements right now, this is the first quarter of a football game in this year. They have the first share. They have the first shot. Nebraska just put forth a constitutional carry bill. Florida is going to do it. North Carolina has a super majority possibility that's going to override the veto from Governor Cooper. This football game is just now getting started, and I cannot wait to be on the ride with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.